Welcome back to the Belt Off Podcast. Today we have a full panel of ladies who have been doing kickboxing for... Janine's been doing it for quite a while, but a lot of these ladies have been doing it for about 6 months. Experiences, what do you guys think? Carrie, you like to talk? Let's start with you.
I've been kickboxing this time around since February, so however long that is, and I love it. This time around I had a different mindset coming into it. I've done kickboxing before, years ago. I've tried to work through some knee injuries, which, you know, that's always a pain, and it's a battle, and it messes with your your mentality, because it's easy to stop working out with an injury. But this time around, this is like my second time here at AKS. I did it for a while, stopped for a while with the injury, and then came back different. I came back with new goals, wanted to be consistent no matter what, and I'm seeing results, and it feels really good.
And Sarah, so I called you out in the previous video that you didn't watch, so I'm calling you out again. But you had posted a issue that was completely preventable and fixable.
Yes.
So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, and I've only been doing this for, two weeks.
Yeah.
And I have no more pain when I'm in the car driving. I haven't had any back pain or hip pain. It's good. It's awesome. And I'm excited to be coming, and it's got me into a routine, and I love it.
Janine, what's your experience with kickboxing?
Well, it'll be 2 years in November. So it's been a while. I think it started out where I knew I wanted to do it. It just took a while. I kind of felt like I'd wake up and kind of decide that day if I was going. And probably the last year, it's like, no, this is what I'm doing. And especially this past week, I had some conflicts with things, and I don't like asking for help. And I was like, hey, I need you to do this so that I can get to my class. So
it's still important to
makes a
have that
difference.
and have somebody that you can count on to actually pick up the slack on that.
Yeah.
But setting the routine like you ladies have done, all 4 of you have been doing amazing with attendance. There's a week, right, where you're on vacation, you're doing things, but immediately back to it. Any little setbacks, you deal with it, and then right back to consistent training. And it's been fun to watch the growth and the progress. I guess I should say, instead of the growth, the loss, right? All the weight and everything that's been dropping. Nicole, what's your experience?
It's been a really great positive experience. I'm older now, so I was a little intimidated watching my son Hunter, who's been coming here for, it'll be 3 years in September. But I always went, that looks fun. And Coach Nick would always say, anybody can do it, you can do it. And I finally just made the commitment to myself, because I'm tired of feeling so unhealthy. And I feel stronger. I just feel a lot better about myself. And I want to be around for my kids, so I need to take care of myself. So, yeah.
So part of the reason that I wanted to get these 4 ladies on the podcast is after every class they're talking about, you know, how amazing this has been, the challenges that they're going through, and you know, it's not all ups. There's downs too, and the support system that you ladies have, you know, developed has been critical for your own growth. You're all saying it's different this time, and you have a group of people that are all being supportive and healthy. Touched on it a little bit in the last podcast, but the community of people that you surround yourself with determines your future. If you surround yourself with negative people, I can tell you where you're going to be in a year. It's not going to be good. But if you surround yourself with a support group, man, you're going to excel. With the parent that gets their child into martial arts, they know their child needs martial arts. Deep down, they know they should know martial arts, but it's so common that parents don't start training. And they look at it as, oh no, that's something you do as a kid, but No, any age, any group, any person can do martial arts and have extreme success in it. Are you going to be world champion kickboxers, jiu-jitsu practitioners? No, but maybe. You can drop weight, you can get healthy, you can be there for your kids, right? You have a shared experience. Everything gets a little more relative.
That's a big thing for me also, is because I sat in my apartment for 5, I've been there 5.5 years, so a long time, with my kid and doing nothing, not hanging out with anybody, not meeting anybody. And here, not only am I mean, I'm new still, but like, I really like all you ladies. And of course I like Nick a little bit, you know? So it's like so much fun to come out and I get to just be with adults and people and doing the same thing together. And then Travis also has, you know, the kids come here and they're so good. They just sit over there and they're so good. And he's got to hang out with kids also, which is awesome. And it's so positive. So
I agree.
Yeah, and one thing I will say that I really appreciate about coming to AKS is I feel like I don't really have a lot of excuses for not to show up, because Coach lets our kids be here and we can still work out. So this summer I was really worried about my routine being off, because I'm going, man, my 2 kids are going to be home. They can't be home alone. What am I going to do? But it's been great because I've been able to come and be consistent and keep my routine up, because they can come here too.
One of the amazing things about martial arts is it translates to life. A lot of the struggles and the challenges that we face in here make some of ordinary life a little less painful or a little more approachable. You know, we had some issues in class today where it was, you know, a hard technique to get, you know, the timing and everything down, but just trying, right? That is what gets you success in life. Instead of being like, oh, that's difficult, I'm not going to do that. You know, embracing, oh, we're here, we're doing this, we're going to try until we get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like sparring. And first I used to be so intimidated with sparring, especially sparring with you. It was like flying at all angles at me and I didn't even know how to block or do anything, and it just gets easier. It's less intimidating the more that you do it.
As long as it's done in a healthy way. There's a lot of people that have like trauma from going into a place and their first sparring session was basically a fight. Mm-hmm. And what happens is people, every time that they spar after that, it's like PTSD for them. They immediately start going hard. They don't know how to relax. And so starting in a comfortable situation with people that you trust is critical for developing that. I'd much rather take a longer time getting somebody comfortable with sparring than just drop them into the fire, because so many people have come in from a gym like that and I cannot get them to go light sparring. They just don't have it in them because that trauma response is there. And it's super interesting. So we have to go right back to the basics of like no touch sparring. Okay, the person's in front of you, you can't touch them. I want to see you be controlled, slow, and then turn-based sparring, and then we work it up. So sparring is fantastic, has to be done right. And if you're at a place where you don't feel safe while your sparring is not at the appropriate level for you, and you need to try something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's just take this back to life. You know, we have the weight loss gains and everything, but it translates more to your normal experiences in just everyday life. So let me hear some of I don't think any of you have like a self-defense situation that popped up, but do you feel more confident, you know, when you take your kids to the park or anything like that?
Yeah. I noticed. I mean, I've kind of did it in the past too, but you know, you see, you get a little feeling sometimes around certain people, and then I'm like picturing in my head an incident and like what I'm doing, and now I'm like picturing like different things that I've learned here, so that I can get my kid out of the situation fast and protect both of us.
Mm-hmm.
If something happens to your kid, if you're not athletic enough to pick them up and get them out of a situation, then there's something wrong. And this is a realism that a lot of parents just don't want to accept. You know, common things, oh, I have a gun, oh, I have this. Well, you can't shoot fire. You can't, you know, do these certain things. So being athletic enough to remove your kid from a situation or pick them up if necessary is so important. If you can't pick your kid up and move them to safety, there's a problem there.
With my back, how my back was, I couldn't pick up Travis.
Yeah.
I couldn't. And I could barely stand up without hurting.
Yeah.
And it's not like I carried him from the car the other day because he was so tired, and I had to carry him upstairs. And it's a long walk to the front door, so it's good.
Yeah.
And it happens kind of fast, you know, like, so I feel stronger already.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would say for me, growing up, I've always been into sports. Love sports. You know, as you grow and your life changes and everything changes and you start having kids, it's like once you become a mom, your whole identity is just it's taken, and you're like, who am I now, and what makes me feel good, and what kind of mom am I? And so I feel like at one point, maybe after my first child, I tried joining an adult soccer team. But again, I've had this knee issue that's just like totally put a wrench in everything. And so I stopped, and it was a bummer. And I think I just kind of felt like, you know, bummed out for myself for just too long. And then, you know, then I was surprised with another pregnancy. I had twins, and I was like, oh, great. This is not going to be good for my body or anything else. But then I think coming in here the first time, again, I think it matters what kind of coach you have and what environment that you're bringing people in. I have been in other environments where it just doesn't feel as comfortable. You don't feel as welcomed. You feel like, you know, there's maybe people have been there longer and they're more valued than you. But not here. And like Nicole said, there's like no excuses because you can bring your kids and all the things. Your kids can work out here and join, which has been really nice. So when I first signed up, my husband's like, no, don't do it, your knee. Yeah. And I was like, but I need something. I needed something for myself. And so through the process of wearing knee braces, I don't even have to wear a knee brace anymore. And I didn't realize that I was keeping it weaker by constantly wearing that brace. And now the things that I can do and the way that I can bend, the way I can play with my kids and move around, I feel so much stronger physically, mentally, emotionally. I have, you know, just certain things with my kids that I deal with, and everything is more doable. I feel like there's nothing I can't do. I do feel more confident in situations or, you know, by myself with my kids. And it feels great. It feels good to be part of a team. I mean, these ladies are awesome. It's fun. We hold each other accountable.
Very much so.
It's nice. Yeah. Even Saturdays. I never thought I'd work out on a freaking Saturday. And I'm here like every Saturday morning, which is really nice. Yeah. Even when I party the night before, I have Nick on my shoulder saying, no excuses. Yeah. You did this to yourself.
Yeah. And that's the realism that I was talking about, is you can have people that coddle you through life, but they're not going to help you. Those people might be a support system, but they're never going to get you to the place that you want to be or need to be. And so in that last podcast, we talked a lot about it, but it's worth saying again. Being real is more important than being nice to somebody. And you do have to approach it from a nice, you know, healthy, productive way. You don't just want to be mean with it and insult somebody. But, you know, telling somebody what they already know kind of reinforces that. You know, like with, you know, Sarah's my cousin, so I held nothing back. I was like, I'm going to give you more than I give normal people. Here's how it is. Take it or leave it, but this is the situation. With your knee brace, so we basically rehabbed your knee. Right? Didn't tell you we were doing that, but what knee braces do is they're fantastic. If you have a knee injury, you need to limit mobility. So if your knee can't go to a full 90 degree, you need something to keep you from going to that range or fully extended. But the problem is it's like a cast. So the more that you use the knee brace, the less your knee is doing, and it atrophies. So if you're able to do lighter exercises without the knee brace, we can strengthen it. Now, the bigger movements that you need support for, definitely wear the knee brace. But if it's something that you can do without it, do it without it, and then slowly increase that load until it's strong and healthy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's been working.
Yeah.
Another thing is you know, at starting this at, you know, say I'm 41. So, you know, there's no excuses of being too old, or, you know, you have to work through the uncomfortableness of, you know, at first I was like I'm unhealthy and I don't feel good about myself, but you just got to work through those times. And then I think my major goal is, like you said, I want to be around for my kids for a long time, and I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I don't want to just sit there and enjoy watching them play. I want to interact and I want to be around a long time. And so that's why I feel that this will be staying a part of my life. It just, nothing has ever felt so good. After each class, I go out just pumped up and ready for the day. My kids can all be fighting when I get home, and it's like, I got it. You know, I got this situation, no problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel the same way. I'm 45, and I can say that over the last 6 months that I've been doing this, I feel so much better than I did even in my 30s, because I wasn't incorporating a good exercise routine, and now it's just kind of part of life. Like, I feel so much better.
We have people in here that are in their 60s, and it's so important when a lot of the older people are intimidated by coming in, not because, you know, of getting hit or anything like that, but they don't want to slow down the class, or they don't want to do be a hindrance. But the thing is, those are the people that need to be in here the most. And so if the place that you're at doesn't work with those types of people, consider a different place. You have to be able to, the reason that we do this is to help people. And if the motivation isn't that, if your gym is just looking at cranking out world champions or whatever it is, then there's an issue with that, unless it's just purely a fight gym, which you probably shouldn't be at if you're not 100% dedicated to fighting. But if a 60-year-old can't come in, be safe, and get exercise in, there's something going on there. And again, because those are the people that need it the most. If you start in your 40s, you'll be able to gain the muscle and the mass and the heart condition and everything to live into your time. If you're not starting at 40, start at 50. Once you wait until you're 60-year-old, it is tough to gain muscle mass and that stability to carry you through. There's, you know, a meme of, you know, a lady running a triathlon at 70-something years old. And then there's a picture of another 70-year-old, you know, sitting in a rocking chair looking out the window. Which 70-year-old do you want to be?
The one mobile, up and moving.
And that's what, you know, that I have goals that I'm not close to reaching, like with horses. You know, I want horses so bad. And the way I was going, I was not going to be able to get on a horse. I was like, oh my gosh, things need to change. So this is not only for me now, but definitely for me in the future also. Doing this.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not, okay, I achieved the 15 pounds of weight loss, now I can quit. It's a lifestyle. You're doing this for the rest of your life, because the older you get, the more you have to do. Your body starts to decay and deteriorate. There's another D word for that. I'll figure it later. But your body starts to fall apart over time, and if you're not doing the exercise to compensate for that, you are falling apart.
Yep. Our bones and our joints need it, especially as we start to lose hormones and things like that.
Bone
so
density, everything.
And
it's
then
really,
depression sits in, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and that was one thing with me, just sitting in there. I was falling apart, and I felt like I didn't have a support system, which really all I needed to do was reach out. And
it's hard
so
to do.
it got in my, I just got in my head, and that would just makes you just sit there, you know. And it's a cycle, and you got to get out of it.
It controls you.
It does.
And then there's some things obviously we can't control about our lives, but it was just time for me to gain some control and stop being so depressed and unhealthy.
Yeah, you don't realize like how it trickles throughout your life, right? When you're in a bad spot and everything, it's that law of attraction, right? It's just like everything is like difficult. And for the longest time too, I was like, I can't lose weight. Like, I'm trying to do these things. It was hard working out at home because the kids interrupt you. Walking's just not enough, you know, like all the things. And finally, after so long, I'm finally losing weight. I've lost 21 pounds and feels really good. I mean, I'm not at all where I want to be, but I'm trying to love the body that I'm in while trying to gain the body that I want. And that's something that hasn't always been easy for me. So yeah, it's awesome.
And this is a much better workout than going to the gym is boring for me, and that's why I think I'd never ever continue to just make it part of my life. But here we do so many exercises, and I enjoy that because it constantly keeps our bodies, you know, going. And oh, what are we gonna do next? Not, oh, I'm on the treadmill again for 30 minutes. And
did you know that I heard or I read somewhere that the treadmill was actually made as a torture device back in the medieval days?
I've not heard that.
I believe that.
And that's why they say it's like so hard to like just be on it sometimes or something like that.
And now you have all these people buying a gym membership just for the treadmill.
Totally. It sounds so lame too, but to have this team, there's no seasons, so it's all the time. And I really feel that, you know, the support that you give to all of us and to our kids is just so great. It's like I almost feel like I don't want to let you down, right? I don't want to let you guys down by not being here. I want to be here because we are a team, and it's awesome.
Well, you know that we'll call you out.
Yeah, and you will, and you do.
Yes.
And so I'm sure, and you guys have said that you're not always motivated, right? You guys have set that discipline of I need to be here. And you have the support system behind that of calling each other out. Motivation can get you to start something, but it won't get you to your goal. You have to build the discipline. And you ladies are having fun and all that, but there's going to be days, and there are days where it's not as fun as others, or it's just a grind. And you get through those days, you feel better after the class, but it took discipline to get to that class.
Yep. Oh yeah, I've had many days like that. Oh, I'm a slug today, but I'm so glad afterwards that I just feel so great.
It's always worth it after.
Always.
So try not to think of getting through a class, just think of getting to the class.
Yeah, it helps me be better in other aspects of my life too, with health. I mean, right, I feel like at this point in my life, I'm just too old now to not make my health a priority. So that means eating better. I don't do diets. I don't want to do diets. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't.
Like,
I like to eat.
I still like to eat.
But it's just about making better choices and, you know, just kind of being more mindful of that. So that's helpful too.
I've been doing that too. You know, instead of eating 3 pieces of pizza, I'll eat 1.5 or 2, you know?
It's the little steps, that's okay.
It is the little steps.
It is.
A lot of people fail because they completely wipe out their diet and they try to change it. And there's so many things that happen with that, whether it be like a sugar withdrawal, there's so many different things, carb withdrawals, that taking out a little bit, and then just slowly building on your diet, rather than, you know, trying to completely wipe through the diet completely, is usually the best way to go if you're looking for long-term success. If you're looking to drop 10 pounds in a couple weeks, all right, we can wipe the diet and we can get you on something. But if you're actually trying to make this a lifestyle, you can't say, oh, never eat that again. It's just portion control and discipline on it.
Absolutely.
And I think this also helps to maintain, because like Carrie, I've lost some weight too, and it's really nice because I have not seen the scale go at least back. Of course I want to lose more, but I know I still will have a drink and eat or something, but not as much as before. I don't get as hungry as I used to be, which is really great. I feel like I don't have to constantly think about it or wonder. It's just really nice to consistently lose, and I feel like that's healthier for us because it'll just keep, you know, going slow is okay.
Yes.
Because then you're not always going back. Because I've done things where, you know, wow, I lost 20 pounds fast, but as soon as you stop those things, it just comes back on, and with a vengeance sometimes. So
and it's about the way you feel too.
Yeah.
sometimes more important.
Yeah, and what's great about doing the kickboxing is it's also a mental challenge. I know for me, I'm like, wait, we're supposed to do this, that. There's so much that we're learning, and it's great, but it's fun too. But it's really challenging, and I really like challenging myself and saying I can do it. And then with Coach, he's great. I had a knee problem too, and I was wearing a brace, but just with him always having a modification for something. If it doesn't feel right, he has 5 other ways to do it, and that's what also can keep you going. Don't let a soreness or an injury set you back. It just kept me wanting to come in and say, I'm going to build that strength up, and I can do it, and it's been great.
I think it's really nice too to have something for yourself, right? It's like, this is my thing, and now it's a part of me, and I want to show my kids that this is what I'm doing for myself, because that's important, but also look at me, what I mean? I'm getting healthier and I'm doing more, and you probably see a happier, funner mom.
Yeah.
So
Yep, and it's good for them to see that it's just part of life. Like the younger they start and are, doing things for their health, the better it is.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast. How can I help you? I'll cut this. How can I help you? Oh, you're good. You're good. Okay. Oh, go ahead. I'll fix it in post. Oh, you're good. Okay.
Maybe she wants to come and join us.
That's what I was gonna say.
Wait, what? The cops came to our house last night because it was too loud.
Oh, really?
I was like, is that the same one?
I recognize that vehicle.
Following me?
All of a sudden behind the bag goes Carrie. Hiding.
Where'd she go?
I think she wanted to know
Under
about
the table.
Out the window.
You never know.
You never know. Yep, we see our lovely Power Fit people down there. They're running, and their exercise is so
Are you guys taking
kind of
turns?
boring.
Yeah, it looks
They're peeking in here.
excruciating.
Travis, are you guys taking
And
turns?
when we're in here laughing and punching each other.
Well, you're running in the heat, sucker.
Yep.
Maybe one day we'll take a break and we'll throw water balloons at them.
You guys looked hot and bored. We had to wake you up.
Oh my goodness. Oh, she wants to work out. That's nice.
This is the class for it.
Yeah.
We just gotta watch our mouth sometimes, probably.
Yeah.
No way. You're stepping into
Well, I
all
don't
No
the
more
party.
talking about your parties.
Nope. I don't party at all. Totally straight and narrow.
What'll be interesting is when I go back on.
We were all taking.
Oh man, we forgot we were talking crap about you.
No, but so the break that we just had there was a police officer coming in. She wants to, start classes and things. So in the last one, I was talking about all walks of life, right? So we've talked about all fitness levels. We've talked about age levels, but also all walks of life, from police officers and doctors all the way down. And it's a big melting pot of support system. And the 9 a.m. classes turned out to be mostly moms, which is a cool thing. That's who's available at 9 a.m.
Hey, that's the best time for me. While the kids are gone.
And so you get a cool support system. The 7 p.m. class is a little more of a melting pot. But it's cool having a solid group of moms, because you guys all have similar experiences.
Right.
Similar goals.
I had relief when you said that. Oh, it's mostly moms at 9 a.m. I was like, oh, thank
Yeah.
God. I was like, I should fit in.
Yes, it's perfect.
Anything else you ladies want to say?
No, just come
Dozer?
in and join us. No.
I didn't mean for this to be an advertisement for the gym, but kind of turned into it. Yeah, just sharing, life experiences and everything. Nothing. Janine,
What?
anything to say? A little quiet. And I'm gonna edit, so it's all good.
Am I supposed to say something?
You can say anything you want, Janine.
You got a cool
We can go off the
nickname? You got a cool
rails.
nickname here.
We barely talked about martial arts in the last podcast. It was all life stuff, but that's what it is: martial arts, life, fitness.
Yep.
You join the 9 a.m. class, you can get a nickname.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yes.
Nicknames.
Rex.
Dozer. We haven't figured
I
you
don't
out
have one yet.
It's coming.
And
We need one for Sarah.
you have to stay a little bit longer and we'll figure it
It'll
out.
be coming soon, Sarah.
Although you've been here for a while and we still can't figure you out.
Oh, one of the things that I wanted to say, you were talking about when you first come in, feeling accepted. There's a lot of places that have giant rosters, and the turnover rate for newer people or white belts is really high. And so you'll see like the white belts get a click, and then you'll see all the people who have been there for a long time. And I try to break down that barrier, if at all. If you come in on day one, you're going to be accepted and in. It's not going to be like, okay, you go hang out with the white belts type of a thing. If you're here, you're training, you're putting in the work, I appreciate it, and let's get you going.
Oh, thank you. I was watching your podcast. I haven't finished it yet, but the one with your coach, which I found really great because I think right when I started working out here, I started asking Rachel about your story because I want to know who I'm learning from. I want to know your story and how you got to this place, just because it's also motivating. And so it's cool to see your coach because obviously there's just an automatic respect there. He's taught you, you're teaching us, and it's just full circle. It's a really cool thing. But also when you guys talk about when you have clients that come in and then when you lose them, how that must feel. And I get that because, I'm sure you've had tons of us trying to inch our way back out. And then you're like, wait a minute, no, let's talk about this. What's the reason? And let me work with you. And that's so huge. I mean, that's why I'm still here. And that's why my son's still here. And it's awesome. And not only that, I feel, we all have such a long way to go, right? This is a journey for a long time. But the strides that I've seen my son take here too, I just feel so proud of him, and I feel like he's just more prepared for life, which is a good feeling because you want them to be independent and be able to protect themselves at the very least, and that's really cool.
And until the next one, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.